Greetings, tasty liquor lovers, and welcome to another episode of SwillinGrog's A Wonderful World of Beer. Now, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but I still thought it would be a lovely day for a Guinness. So that's what I'll be reviewing. Guinness Draught, 4.1% alcohol by volume, brewed and canned by Guinness Limited at the St James's Gate Brewery in Dublin, Ireland. Now, Guinness is another Diageo brand like the Captain Morgan that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. Although Diageo's portfolio of beers is quite small in comparison to its portfolio of spirits. I mean, aside from Guinness, they've only really got Red Stripe and Kilkenny and a couple of other brews, I believe. So yeah, I found that to be quite interesting. Anyway, enough babbling about Diageo, and back to the Guinness. So yeah, this is a brew that I've tried many times before, of course, but I'm not going to give you my thoughts on it right now. So on that note, I think it's high time I cracked it open, and I'm going to pour it out into this lovely Guinness pint glass that my good friend and work colleague, Sir Keith, bought me back from the St James's Gate Brewery in Dublin, Ireland, when he was there back in May of this year. Alright, so thanks for that, Sir Keith. Alright, anyway, let's crack this can. Well, it's a, forgot to mention, it's a 440ml nitro can of Guinness Draught open, and make an assessment of it. Now, I'm expecting a bit of a hiss here when I open it up. Hopefully the camera picks that up. Some nice smoke coming out of there. So I'm going to pour it on a 45-degree angle, slowly. Okay. Alright, so I got it all out of the can now. Okay, and what I'll have to do at this point is just wait for the surge to settle. So I'll just put this down, and through the magic of television, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, and we're back, and as you can see, it's settled right down. Now, in terms of its appearance, it's you know, a very dark brown, almost black colour, with a let's see, just a little over a finger of you know, beige head. It looks quite good. I think if you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see like a reddish hue to it, but you know, it's mostly just a very, you know, thick, you know, dark brown, almost black appearance there. Anyway, I've got to say it looks really appealing, especially in this lovely pint glass that Sir Keith brought back from the St James's Gate Brewery in Ireland. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the aroma now. Alright, well, what I'm picking up first and foremost are dark roasted malts. You know, there's some, you know, some chocolate there, and some coffee as well. There's no real kind of presence of hops that I'm detecting in the aroma. But anyway, it smells pretty damn good. So that does bring us to the most important part of the review, the taste test. So a huge cheers to you all, and even bigger cheers to my good friend and work colleague, Sir Keith. Cheers. Oh, that's really hitting the spot today. It's my first beer of the day, so yeah, forgive me folks. I'm just really wanting to guzzle this down and forgetting that I'm actually doing a beer review. Anyway, in terms of its taste, it really does follow the nose, I suppose you could say. You know, up front, I'm getting those, you know, dark roasted malts that are just absolutely delicious. You know, in the finish, you know, I'm tasting, you know, those hints of coffee and chocolate there. The finish is quite drying, I must say, but I believe the style of this brew is an Irish dry stout. So yeah, I think it really does kind of fit that taste profile. I guess in terms of bitterness, you don't really taste that until the finish, where it has a kind of sour, coffee-like bitterness that really lingers in the palate. To me, that's the only real kind of bitterness that you do pick up in this brew. It's really in the finish, because it's got a really overpowering like malt presence. That's just absolutely divine, I think. It's yeah, I mean, it's certainly one of those brews that's really malt forward and a real malt lover's dream. Anyway, on that note, I must have another gulp. Alright, well, it's certainly holding that taste profile. I'm really enjoying this immensely. One thing I really do like about it, particularly, the Guinness Draught and the nitro cans, is it's got a real, kind of creamy texture to it. Although, its body is quite thin, the nitrogen like widget, really gives it a creamy like texture. But on that note, I'd probably go as far as saying it's more milky because it's just so thin. So in some ways, it's almost like a chocolate milkshake, strangely. Alright, so what would I say in terms of its drinkability? Well, it's of course very drinkable at 4.1% ABV. It's also very sessionable too. I've drunk a lot of this, in my time, and it's not something that I really, get sick of. Particularly in the winter, you can drink a lot of this brew. So, yeah, there you go, folks. Anyway, I think it is time for me to start thinking about wrapping this review up. So I'm going to have one last gulp and give it a score out of 10. Alright, well, all in all, Guinness Draught is a very solid Irish dry stout. I'd recommend that you check it out. I'm sure that you could get your hands on it. I mean, it's available like worldwide. So I'd be very surprised if you couldn't find Guinness, particularly in this form, down at your local bottle shop or liquor store. Anyway, in terms of a score out of 10, I'd probably be happy to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not exactly mind-blowing, but for what it is, it's very enjoyable, and yeah, I really can't fault it flavour-wise. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of yet another SwillinGrog beer review, so thanks for joining me. Stay tuned after this review for a slideshow presentation of Sir Keith's trip to the St James's Gate Brewery in Dublin, Ireland. I hope you all enjoy that. He was kind enough to share the pictures that he took, when he did the brewery tour. So, yeah, something else for you to enjoy there, kind of bonus feature. Anyway, like I said, that's it from me, folks. So, yeah, until next time, fare thee well, all.